Shut up and sit down.
Hello, my friend. You are listening to the Dance Studio Scaled podcast, the number one place for innovative marketing, retention strategies, and business growth ideas made just for dance studio owners. Now, this isn't your average business podcast. We're here to shake things up, simplify the hustle, and focus on real, actionable insights. I'm your host, Jen Dalton, and after 30 years of running studios, coaching owners, and scaling businesses, I know one thing's for sure. There's no one size fits all in this industry. You've got the passion, and I've got the tools to help you take it to the next level. So hit that subscribe button, grab a coffee, and let's scale your studio together. Hey, studio fam, and welcome back to another episode of the Dance Studio Empire podcast. Now, this one is part 4 of the Simplify Your Business series. So if you have made it this far, I just want to say thank you. Because you are the kind of studio owner who isn't just winging it, you're building something intentional, you're building something sustainable and truly special. So over the past couple of weeks, I've done 3 other episodes leading up to this 4th one. And a quick recap for those, if you haven't listened, please do go back. But in the first one, we covered how to attract the right people. The second one was how to entice them to try a class. The third one last week was how to confidently and clearly sign them up. And then today we're diving into the part that many studio owners do overlook. But for me, I believe it to be the most profitable part of your business, and that's retention. Now, I always say it's not about how many students you get, but it's about how many that you keep. Because if you think about it, every student that you lose, you're losing their fees, of course, but there could be costume profit or concert profit, their merchandising, their word of mouth potential, the impact to your community vibe. So if we can keep dancers longer, then not only do we grow, but we grow in a way that feels really grounded and connected, which then just makes our studio life so much more joyful, right? All right, let's get into it. Retention isn't a single system, okay? It really is a mindset as well. And it's something that you build into everything that you do. And this could be from the way that you onboard a new family to how you handle concert week or how you say goodbye at the end of a class or the end of a term. But I'm going to give it to you in a framework. Everyone knows I love a framework. I love a structure. And how I break down retention is into 4 pillars. So the 4 pillars are, the first one is connection. The second one is innovation. The third pillar is progression, and the 4th one is appreciation. So I'm going to dive into both of those right now. So the first one is connection. Now, connection, this is the heartbeat of your studio. Your families, they need to feel seen, they need to be heard, and they need to feel valued. And I will always go back to that beautiful quote from Brené Brown, where she says, connection is the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. Now, if you've listened to any of my podcasts before, you know that I use that quote a lot because I think it really encapsulates what I believe connection to be, and that is so powerful in our business. And it's something that everyone should really try and get behind. Now, for me, this guides me in how I coach, how I communicate, and how I lead. So ask yourself, do my families feel like they belong here? Are we intentional in our greetings, our messaging, our events? And when was the last time a parent said thank you just for being kind? Connection shows up in small, consistent moments, and it could be the birthday card, it could be a phone call after an absence, a comment on a Facebook post, right? But connection breeds loyalty, and that's why it's so crucial in our business. Okay, number 2 is innovation. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the studio, and that's boredom. Now, of course, this isn't in every studio, but things are different. These days, people are getting bored quickly. And that includes not only the kids, but the parents as well. They are just used to fast-paced, ever-changing environments, as are we, as I am, as I'm probably sure if you're listening to this, you probably are as well. And so while I believe in really strong routines and structure, I also believe in surprise and delight. And here are just some ways to innovate without burning yourself out. And it could be something like introducing a mini challenge week, midterm. It could be, well, you bring a friend week, but have them dress up or wear old costumes. It could be as simple as just a new playlist, like with themes or fun warm-ups or songs that are trending, TikToks that they're all dancing to at the moment in the playground. It could be that you just create a pop-up class, and it could be something that's a little bit different. It could even cover mindfulness. It could cover auditioning. It could be something a little bit different outside of what they're already doing. When I talk about innovation, it doesn't mean constant reinvention. It just means that you're willing to pay attention and add spark where it's needed. And when it comes to innovation, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Don't worry about what the studio down the road is doing. Don't watch what's coming in their feed. Just stay focused and worry about what your families are craving and then meet them there. It's going to be a way better use of your time and energy and effort if you're doing that instead of panicking about, oh, they're always ahead, they're doing something different. Just stay true to you and your families. Okay, number 3 is progression. Now, this is a really huge one that can often be underdone, and your students and your parents, they want to know that they are growing. They want to know that there is a path or a purpose or a next step because they're investing. They're investing time, they're investing money into something they want to be seeing. Now, who knows? Of course, they're hoping that the child is loving it and enjoying it, of course, but they also want to know what they're getting from this investment. And so this could be as simple as having a pathways, which I would guess that you have pathways because most of us do. It's how we're set up. However, we need to make sure that we're communicating that with our families. And something that I'm finding at the moment is infographics are really quite dominant at the moment. So people are seeing them a lot because reading is taking time. If they can see an infographic of your pathway, it's going to have a bigger impact on them. And this could be as simple as just laying out levels. So starting with your preschool section, then they go to juniors, then they go to intermediates or seniors, or you might even have more branded type levels. So for us, we had our Jigsaw Juniors, then we had our Rising Stars and our Shooting Stars and our Academy Kids. It doesn't matter what you call it. It just matters that there is clarity so that they can see that their child is starting somewhere and they're moving and they're graduating onto the next thing. So what matters is the clarity of that, but even better is to celebrate these transitions. And so this could look like hosting up a step-up ceremony, and this could be toward, term 3 heading into term 4, like maybe you're doing your re-enrollments, and so you've handed out your re-enrollment pack, you've highlighted the classes that they will be moving into, so you could do a step-up ceremony. You could let the younger dancers watch the older class to let them know, well, this is what you'll be doing next year when you stay, or stick out this level for 2 more years, and then you'll be graduating into this level. And then you can celebrate by giving them a certificate or sashes or a pin, just something to mark that moment. Because progression fuels retention because it keeps the dancers focused on what's ahead, what's coming up, like what they're looking forward to, something, the next thing, and they're striving for it, not what else is out there for them because like, oh, well, I've nailed this. I'm not going to do another year like this. Plus it gives our parents that feeling of, we've invested in something long-term and we're seeing it. So from a business standpoint, that's really, really gold. All right. And then number 4 is appreciation. So let me ask you something right now. When was the last time you intentionally thanked your families for being part of your studio? And I'm not talking about those automated emails or the birthday messages and discounts, which are really nice. And I think they're super important because they are another touch point. But I'm talking about that genuine, heartfelt appreciation. Now, if you've listened to me before, you've heard me tell this story that at one of our mid-year concerts, I gave a shout out to in my speech to the families who were referring friends, who left reviews or supported us consistently. And I named them. And I actually brought them onto the stage and I gave them a gift and I told the audience how grateful I was being a small business. This is what's really important. And, to know that we're getting this support from our families is incredible, right? Now, the result from that is not only did those families who do the referring felt seen and heard and valued, but then suddenly everyone else in the room was like, wow, that'd be nice if I could be called out or, be appreciated like that. Now, you don't need to give a gift. It doesn't have to be big. It's like sometimes it's just a handwritten note or even just a quick chat in the foyer can be enough. But when people feel appreciated, they stay and they will advocate for you. They simply will become your biggest fans. Now, a little bonus with retention is getting your team on board. Your teachers, they're on the front lines and they should be on the front line of your retention strategy as well. So make sure they understand the power of connection and how you as the studio owner want them to do that. Now, this, for me, when I was training my teachers, connection was pretty much in every training session because it looks different for the different ages, for the different abilities, for the different types of dancers that are coming into your studio. But it was so important that all my teachers were made aware of what that connection piece looked like, that it was spoken about at every training session. How to make sure your teachers understand how to make your dancers feel seen and how to track their progress and communicate that. Now, tracking their progress, this is a constant conversation that I'm having with studio owners at the moment. We've got, we've got apps now that can do that. We've got band apps to communicate. There's a lot of easier ways now to be able to do that. I get that it takes time, which is why you need a system in place to make sure that can happen and it's regular and consistent. And then the other thing you want your teachers to understand is to celebrate those milestones with their students. And this can even be talking in advance about things that are coming up. So it may be from the beginning of the year, I would have my teachers talking about, at the beginning of term 1, I would talk about the parents are coming to watch us in week 10. And so they'd talk about that every week. And then the term 2 would be, we've got our mid-year concert coming up, and they'd talk about that. And then once we get to term 3, it's the concert's coming up, or we'll start talking about costumes. We're going to start measuring and ordering costumes. And then we start talking about the concert coming up. So there was always milestones that we were talking about, and that just helped with the longevity of getting through those weeks that can sometimes be a little bit monotonous or a little bit more boring. We kept talking about those milestones, and so that's the job of your teachers as well, because the retention isn't just your job alone, it's the culture of your studio. So we need to train for it, we need to talk about it, and we need to reward it. Okay. Your action steps for this week is, I would love for you to choose one pillar to focus on for the next 7 days. So that could be something to do with connection. It could be innovation. I know some of you are on holidays, like school holidays. Maybe you've had a little bit of downtime and you can start doing some innovation. As we're heading into term 3 and term 4, we want to be starting to really think about 2026, but anyway, we'll get back there. The progression, think about, maybe you want to focus on progression, on how you're communicating that, what that looks like, maybe even just designing an infographic that talks about and shows the progression for your families, or the appreciation piece. So do a studio audit this week And I want you to ask yourself, where are we doing things really well? And where is there room to grow? And then finally, share this episode with your team. Use it as a conversation starter, because retention doesn't need to be overwhelming, but it really needs to be intentional. All right, that's the whole series together. So if you are wanting your studio to grow and thrive sustainably with ease, but without adding another thing that will overwhelm you, let's just simplify it to these 4 things. Number 1 is attracting the right people. So your messaging, your branding, what you're saying, what you're putting out there. Number 2 is enticing them to try a class. You need to give them a reason these days. You need to make it worth their while. It's like, well, why would I come to you? Entice them. Number 3 is signing them up. So sign them up. It's an easy yes. They don't have time to forget about you, or it all gets too hard and too much to find you, because you've got it set up. So it's an easy yes for them. And the sign up process is simple. And then number 4 is retaining them for life. And that's it. Yes, of course, there are layers and tools and tech and trends that go into each of those, but those are just the how. This is the what. And if you get this right, then everything becomes so much easier. All right, everyone. Look, before you go, if this series has helped you, could you please share it with a studio and a friend? Take a screenshot, and I'd love it if you would tag me as well. If you want more hands-on support, if you want the strategy, next level coaching, come and hang out with me. Just jump into my DMs. Let's start a conversation. This is the type of support and information that we go through in a bespoke manner inside the mastermind, because you don't have to figure it out all alone, because it looks different for everyone, which I get. I know you've got the passion, you've got the drive, and now I'm here to give you the path. So keep building your empire your way. Reach out to me, send me a DM if you want to start a conversation, and I hope that you can implement some of the information from this and over the past couple of weeks and really start to feel the difference of taking that overwhelm away from everything else that you've got going on. All right, everyone, I hope you have the most beautiful week, and I look forward to being in your ears again soon. Thanks for tuning in to the Dance Studio Scaled podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other studio owners who would love it too. And let's keep the conversation going. Follow me on Instagram at Jen Dalton for more tips, insights, and behind-the-scenes moments to help you simplify and scale your studio. Until next time, keep dreaming big and taking action. I'll see you back here soon.